Now we'll see how good you are at following conversations.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about St. Vincent's at therapy and what kind of therapy I had.
All right. Good job. We're going to talk in a minute about when you came home from the hospital and those things in that phase. But let's first talk about who you were, who Gina was before you got hurt.
Okay.
You had a job?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I was I still am an insurance agent. I'm licensed in Wisconsin for just property and casualty, not life and health. The agency I worked at, or still do work at, we specialize in the high-risk auto people that need the drunk driving, the excessive speed, a lot of tickets that need these SR22 filings. Before this accident, my boss used to refer to me as the walking manual because we could read off a situation per person when they called in, and I would know usually one or two companies that would probably offer the best rate, a couple companies that they don't qualify for. The percentage, like if we can try to sell multi-policies, to try to sell them a home policy or renters, that type of thing, and be able to just in my head while I'm talking to them say, you get a 20% discount if we do this. This is approximately what it's going to run, and this is what your discount would be. And I could just do that all in my head while I was talking to them. Now, I'm not able to do that. I still know what companies, but as far as being able to predict which one is going to be the better option, no way.
You were married at the time?
Yes.
How long had you been married?
For 20 years. At the time, or?
At the time.
We were married in 1990, I guess, do the math.
16 years?
Yeah.
15 years. And you have a child?
We have one child, yes.
And when was he born?
He was born August 22nd of 92.
1992. How did you become an insurance agent?
I was actually working at an insurance agency when I was a high schooler, my senior year, just doing filing and miscellaneous things. And then my boss had asked me if I wanted to get more into the computers and data entry and accounting, and I went to school for that and just got this accounting degree. I don't know if it's a degree, I don't know what to call it.
2 years? Associate's degree?
No, it was actually, it was a 2-year program, but I was able to get through it in 3 semesters instead of 4. And he hired me for that, and then one thing led to another, and I ended up in the personal lines department, and this was up in Michigan, and he sent me to school for that, and I did really well, and I liked it, and so I ended up in the personal lines department and just stayed there right through. I quit there in 1995. My husband and I had a daughter that had died shortly after birth, and I just didn't handle it well emotionally. I was not able to do my job. I didn't want to do my job. Let's just put it that way. So I did quit. The ironic thing is 6 months after I had quit, the girl that they had hired and I had trained ended up dying in a motorcycle accident. So I went back just to help them out. Just like I said, I quit, but it was amiable. I guess that's the word. I went back and said, well, I'll stay there and until you hire somebody and I'll train them. Well, then my boss had said, well, why don't you come back? We'll hire you back. Why? And no, I didn't want the job. And then we ended up moving down to, it took a couple of years off. Then I went and worked for actually a competitor in the same town and worked there for a year, and then we moved down to this area, so I had to quit that job too. So
did you have to get relicensed when you moved to Wisconsin?
Yes, I did that. actually it worked out well because this was up in the UP and my boss wanted somebody who was licensed in Wisconsin, and it was just easier because I was a Wisconsin resident. So he sent me to school for that, and that was a cakewalk compared to Michigan laws. So I didn't have a problem doing that, and I've just, one thing led to another, and I actually liked my job. So,
Tell me about what life was like as a wife and a mom before your accident.
well, I was pretty much involved in a lot of, with my son's school. I got myself involved in a lot of the PTO impact. My son was into Boy Scouts, so I got myself involved in that. I did the fun stuff. I took him like tubing. I went sledding. I would go rollerblading. I did a lot of active stuff. I like to be just involved with that. So that was, like I said, always fun. My son, he was born premature. He had a lot of learning disabilities, still does. So it was a lot of, I was active in the schools, got to know the teachers, so I could kind of keep ahead of them a little bit, or at least make sure he was getting the services he needed. As far as a wife goes, I don't know, we had fun. I don't want to say party a lot, but we went out quite a bit, and now I don't want to do that. But I mean, we were pretty much like one of these couples. We entertained a lot. We went out, like I said, went out quite a bit and drank. Not where we were driving drunk or anything like that, but just social, very, very social.
You like to ski?
I used to, yes. I gave my skis to my niece.
But we're talking about before you got hurt. You were a skier?
Yeah, we went skiing probably, I don't know, not much, 4 or 5 times a year.